Post-Masonry. Yes, post-Freemasonry, post-Masonic thinking. Allow me to propose, if you want, to you a thought experiment, which no doubt you will in fact find a little exotic. No doubt, I have no doubt whatsoever, this particular thought experiment is a little exotic. However, considering the state of the art, artificial intelligence present with us to this day, to date, so considering the state of the art science that is present in our society, in our labs, um, in our cutting edge think tank labs these days, considering this particular type of technology, AI technology, and look, I'm not going to say any type of technology. I'm going to say around the ballpark of AI, right? Around the ballpark of artificial intelligence, and maybe a little more, maybe a tiny little bit more than artificial intelligence. Well, maybe this scenario, exotic as it may be, it could be that it is not that far-fetched, people. So I'll just jump straight into it. Okay. So suppose I'm expecting a package via mail. Okay. Well, that's common so far. People receive post very often. People receive post and parcels all the time, right? Um, so suppose I'm expecting a package, right? So I find myself in Wellington, right? I'm in a particular building in Wellington at the corner of Cuba Street and Abel Smith, right? That's where my building is. It is called my building is called Southern Cross building, right? It's right next to the Southern Cross restaurant. Okay, these buildings are owned by public trustees, I guess. There's no particular person that owns the building that I live in. I don't own the apartment that I live in. I pay rent to Quinovic Property Management, and the some of the people I pay rent to are bad people, like, except Maria Anselmi. Is a good person, but she's surrounded by bad people, right? That is Quinovic Property Management. I wonder if Maria's surname has anything to do with Saint Anselm of Canterbury, because Saint Anselm of Canterbury developed a. He was the very first one to develop an argument for the existence of God, an ontological argument. And that, when I first read that in high school, well, that impressed me a great deal. The idea of an ontological argument, and then 20 years after, when I was studying computer science and automata theory at the University of Western Australia, then I developed an ontological argument myself, or something that looks like an ontological argument. I wrote a very brief, very small paper based on Gödel's incompleteness theorem, right? So yeah, I think out of all philosophers, I think Saint Anselm influenced me a lot. So that would be interesting if Maria Anselmi's surname, Anselmi, yeah, Maria, if her surname would be in any way related to Saint Anselm of Canterbury. Because I know the on Manor Street, right across the street from Noah's Ark, on Manor Street, there's Abracababra, and over there they have in the separé over there where you can take your food and eat in a private separé, as a separé like they have in Vienna in Austria, that kind of separé. There exists a piece of linen over there on the wall in the separé, which kind of resembles or kind of hints towards Jesus of Nazareth. It's wonderful. Wellington is a wonderful town. Okay, so this is where I live. I live in the Southern Cross building. I live on level 5. All you need is this swipe card, and you're in the building basically. So okay, so coming back to what I wanted to say. Suppose I'm expecting a parcel, okay, and there exist problems with. Look, there do exist problems with the post in my building. Okay, post disappears. Be it parcels, okay, like a huge parcel that is delivered to me, just goes missing. It's like or so parcels and envelopes alike. They just, in a very weird fashion, they go missing, guys. And well, I was thinking, if we have this human factor, right? We have this human factor that kind of like, you don't know who's watching the mail room and stuff. You don't know who enters there and who may take somebody else's mail. You don't know what kind of people enter your building to steal the mail, the postage from yourself. I mean, you don't know what kind of people the building administrator is. You don't know who the building administrator is and what he does. I mean, as far as I can imagine, that there may be static electricity in my room. I may be under radiation as we speak. I mean, that can be imagined, right? I mean, a brief survey on the internet and the technologies that we have these days. I mean, I could be under radiation. I could be developing cancer very, very, very soon because of the static electricity in my building. Yeah, maybe I should call the building manager about this. But okay, so those were all just suppositions. Those were just if then kind of scenarios, hypothetical reasoning, hypothetical thinking, in other words. So the fact of the matter, the reality is that, so that is a reality that cannot be doubted. Parcels and envelopes go missing from the mailroom. Okay, and that's pretty weird so far. Okay, well, what if we? So I kind of started thinking like, what if we sort of get rid of this human factor and introduce surveillance, guys? What if we introduce surveillance and such that a desktop computer, a server, can monitor the mailroom? Okay, this is state of the art today. computers can detect suspicious behavior. And then we eliminate the human factor from this chain of events. And a computer will tell me, a computer can tell me whether or not my mail has been stolen from me. If my parcel or my envelopes have been taken away. Because they are my possessions, right? But we cannot. So, the fact of the matter is, we cannot, in any way whatsoever, eliminate this human factor. So indeed, one can delegate the job to a computer. Okay, something dodgy happens in my building. There exists a red light bulb flashing somewhere, an alarm going out somewhere. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can delegate this sort of stuff to a computer, but then who checks the servers, right? Who examines the evidence? Okay. In case there we can establish there exists a wrongdoer, then who's going to prosecute them? Who's going to read their files? And all in all, who is checking the computer server? So this idea of an elimination, a complete elimination of the human factor, the human error or human corruption, well, trust me on this one, well, this is impossible. So then I find myself walking the streets and, well, a parcel should have arrived, right? An envelope should have arrived. And then what can I do about it? I go to the police, okay? What if the police are bad guys? What if, okay, so I go to the police building, I press the button, I go in, and all of a sudden, what if the policeman is a Freemason himself? Surely he's gonna call, I don't know, he's going to put my file aside, and he's not going to take my complaint, right? And so then I go, maybe I can go to One News, maybe I can speak to John Campbell from One News. But then again, my stuff is censored, my YouTube channel is censored, okay? I don't have freedom of speech. I don't have freedom of expression. All of a sudden, I am underneath a crystal bowl. Okay, people are watching me, but look, I cannot communicate. Okay, so in such a scenario, if my rights are being in any way breached, okay, if my rights are breached, then who stands for my interests? Okay, so this is a very, very strange scenario, very exotic, very weird type of reality. And it is exotic, it is against common sense, but it is a reality.